Hello everyone, thank you so much. It will be in English, but I'm sure you will all understand this. So we will talk today, and here I'm here to represent Upwind, which is a cloud security platform. I will also share a bit about my story and why I decided to join them. I believe it will be interesting for you to know. Just in terms of agenda of this 20 minutes approximately, I want to share a bit about Upwind, introduction, a high-level demo, as well as I want to share a case study that I really love and think it will ring the bell to you, and then we can answer any question that you have. But yeah, maybe just for you to know, my name is Jonathan, as I mentioned. I'm coming from France. I immigrated to Israel 8 years ago. And let me tell you something. Cybersecurity in Israel, it's like croissant or baguette in France. Or
Pizza.
Pizza or pasta for you guys.
Panini and gelato to connect with my speech.
So you see, there are a lot of cybersecurity over there, and it's most of the time better and very good and well known for that. But you know, you're looking for the best place to work for. And I decided to join Upwind a year ago for two main reasons: for the technology that we will share now, as well as for the people. So if I just talk quickly about the team and the people, you can see some of our logo, and we are kind of new in the market. We are just 2 years in the market, but we already raised a lot of money. What is very important for me is this team. This team, they are second timers. They are following each other for many years now. They used to have a startup in the past called Spot.io. And this startup is doing cost optimization. They started in 2020 to net up for around $500 million. And they decided to enter the CNAPP world, Cloud Native Application Protection Platform. There are a lot of actors in this market, and it's very hard to differentiate and bring a value to this market. But what made Upwind different is the fact that we are on runtime. The fact to have everything within the platform in runtime, real time, that's what is kind of a game changer here. So I'm sure you heard about, if you follow a bit the market, maybe you heard about Google that acquired Wiz a few weeks ago, Palo Alto Prisma that moved all the customers to Cortex, and many things is happening in this market. It's a very hot market, and this is the best time and the best opportunity for Upwind. So just to present you what we are doing here, and then I would like to show you around the platform very quickly. The first thing we do is about cloud security posture. We can help with vulnerability management, as GitLab shared before, and many are doing it, but there's a way to do it the best as possible. So we will show you how we can help you in this matter. We also do cloud security posture management, in terms of certification. If you're looking for ISO 27001, OPAC, and so on, we can definitely help you with that. We also do identity security, human and non-human identity, as well as secrets. In terms of workload security, so we use a technology called eBPF. It's like kind of a sensor. It's acting like a sniffer, and it's here to collect all the metadata and to be able to show you everything in the platform in real time. So we will be able to help you with like cloud detection and response, CWPP, container security, Kubernetes, and so on. At Upwind, we call it threats, detection and response. Again, it's good to know about threats. It's better to know it at the right time. So within the platform, we are able to show you the threats in less than a minute and to able to respond to these threats within the platform by killing the specific process without killing the full container. And the last but not the least, we are doing app security. We call it API security, discovery, so network IPs, the logs, the vulnerability management. But what I prefer there is about API insight. It's about correlation of Gen AI with runtime to give you what is the most important things for you and your team to take care of. At the end, the idea of Upwind is for you and your team to prioritize and focus on what really matters on the business. So enough of talking, it's better to show you what it looks like. So I will just need to show you in 5 minutes what we do in an hour. So please be indulgent, but at least you can a bit understand what we are doing. Okay, the first thing, so welcome to Upwind platform. As you can see on the left, we have a lot of features, inventory, configuration, and so forth. The first thing to do is to connect to your cloud account. By the way, we also do on-prem. So if you have still on-prem or you are migrated to the cloud, we can as well help you with it. So There are a few steps to connect to your cloud, and then we will connect to your cluster. So we can share for a Kubernetes cluster. It takes a few steps, and we are here to help you to do it. Basically, take a few minutes, and you will have access to this map. This map is here to give you a visibility of your entire infrastructure. So if you look at the internet ingress, you can see, for example, if you have some brute force, all the countries that have access to your platform, what is going out of your infrastructure. If you're a deep dive, for example, if you're on AWS, you will be able to see all the cluster. You will also have a risk overview to check if you have some internet egress, vulnerabilities, threat detection, sensitive data, and so forth. And you can really deep dive. So let's say I'm interested about this microservice. I'm interested about this front end. So I can, for example, focus on this front end. And then I can inspect the resource. Again, the value added is about seeing what's happening in runtime in your infrastructure. So you will have a visibility, you will see the risk analysis, the network IPs, the connection, the API endpoints. And we also do what we call baseline. So baseline, it's about the threats module. Most of the EDR, CDR tool in the market will focus on signature base. We do it as well, but we also learn the progress of your images, and we can, thanks to this baseline, tell you what is normal and what is abnormal. So it's a good transition to maybe the threats module. So for your information about the threats module, we will separate the events that are normal things that's happening in your infrastructure with some detection. And by the way, if you do a test of the platform, nothing is supposed to happen, hopefully for you guys. So what we do a threat workshop of an hour where we try to attack your infrastructure, and then we show you how we detect and respond to it within the platform. Let me take an example over here. A container is querying domain name that associated with cryptocurrency related activity. You can click on it and you can have the overview. You can see the last execute process. You have a lot of information. If I take, for example, something that can be interesting for you to see, a container executing a compiler. So if I click on it, again, I will have this view, the resource risk analysis. But what will be interesting for you is the fact that you can respond, if the process is not terminated, you can respond through the platform to kill this specific process. And once it's done, you can then create a prevention automatically for the upcoming X minutes, hours, or days to kill this same process automatically. Don't forget that everything that you are seeing and about finding these threats, it will be in runtime. Moving on now to vulnerabilities. I mean, we talk a lot about vulnerabilities. I'm also coming from a shift left world where I used to work for a while for a SaaS tool. I can tell you that DevOps people and developers, the headache is about the numbers of false positive and how to prioritize. Today, every tool will tell you the number of unique CVs that you have, and they will tell you this is the number of high or critical. But then what? Are you going to take care of 700 plus 100 critical? It's too much. Let me just maybe go to our own organization to give you a specific example of what's happening even within our platform. So it's a better example. So in this case, you can see, for example, 4,350 unique CVs. But then because we are on runtime, what we do is we start from runtime and then we go to code. So what you can see is that we are having some package in use. Then we can filter what have internet exposure, the non-exploit, the fix available, and then the last 5 CV as critical severity. So our goal here is to help you reduce the noise and tell you what to focus on for you and your teams. Of course, you have a lot of dashboards. You can see how many CVs you resolve, how many are new, how many hours you spend, and so forth. What will be interesting for your team is to go to the findings and take care of these specific CVs that we say that's the most important too. So if I take care of this GNUTEL's use after free, I can click on this CV. Again, having this visibility. Of course, the fix available that we will propose to you, the non-exploits, the DevOps concept. And what is also interesting is the fact that we can integrate to your CI/CD, GitLab, for example, and many other, and tell you which developer pushed the specific PR and when it happened exactly. So you have the full information to really take care of it, and you know which team and which person need to take care of it. Of course, if you have some Jira ticketing, You can automate it or send a Jira ticket. Another feature we just add about the shift left, again, starting from runtime to code. Because we are on runtime, we are able to tell you what will happen if you push a specific image to the to production. And based on this, we will be able to tell you can proceed with deployments, deploy with caution, or do not deploy. For example, over here, you will have not a good example. Okay, better. So over here, you will have this funnel that will tell you why we can tell you that proceed with deployment because they don't have active internet ingress, or why you shouldn't deploy. Again, the goal is for you and your team to prioritize and focus on what really matters. Very quickly about two other features that I love. As I mentioned, we do API security, so we can catalog all the methods and network IPs that you have, and then you can filter them. For example, you can check what have active internet ingress, what is unauthenticated, what have some posts. And you know that these ones are like a door opener for hackers. So that's a great place to start. You also have API vulnerabilities. And what I really love, again, is this API insight. We are here to tell for the DevOps team and the security team what's the most important. And what you see here are our example that we found during some tests for POCs or for some of our customers, and we just duplicated to our internal or demo session. But for example, here you have Elasticsearch bulk API receiving excessive payloads. You know the endpoints, you know the evidence, you know the remediation. So at the end of the day, you know what to focus on for you and your team. Configuration about CSPM, as I mentioned, we can help you with some. I will come back to the demo. We can help you with some framework that you are looking to have to see how many percentage you are. If you're looking as well to have some custom rules or custom frameworks, we can definitely do it. So you can see, for example, the ISO one over here. You can click on it and understand what's the percentage you are to be compliant. And you, of course, have the details, the controls, the status, and what's the most important, the remediation. Finally, at home, it's about a lot of dashboarding to tell you what's happening within your full infrastructure if we correlate all these specific features. And if you go to issues, you will be able to see some zero-day vulnerabilities, and you can also have some toxic combination, because you know that if you have this specific vulnerability that is have internet ingress plus a secret on it, so it's more important for you and your team to take care of. If you want a deep dive demo, feel free to reach out to us after the about this.
He's running like a Ferrari, so he's like very fast.
Trying to keep the time, guys. I want to show you this case study. It's about 4 minutes. I think very interesting to hear about this one. Can you hear from here? Or?
Ricky, welcome.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great. Always great to have you. We're going to talk a little about cybersecurity.
I think one of the biggest issues that we were having with cloud security products, right, is that although cloud's been around for a while, that it's taken some time for cloud security products to come up to par, and it's extremely noisy because they're creating alerts for every little event. And now my team would have to go into detail on every alert, work with the engineering team to figure out what that alert meant. And it would be so frustrating for the engineering team that you're creating, like you guys are dealing with your noise, but you're now making it noisy for us too. And what was really interesting to me was you were coming from the engineering side, like you guys are DevOps people that are trying to solve a security problem. And I remember you saying that, Ricky, we will provide the DevOps context to you up front. So your folks will have everything they need, and it's going to improve your relationship with engineering as well, which is exactly what's happening.
Ricky, question. What do you think contributed to the fact that runtime security, securing workloads at runtime have become so popular in the past year?
Yeah, I think that's where the runtime security is where kind of the disruption has started. I actually think Upwind was leading the way in that terminology, right? Because a lot of the cloud security vendors, that wasn't a need. If you even look back, when I think about my first cloud transformation journey, which was over a decade ago, you didn't need runtime. Static worked. But then people started stitching on runtime into the description, but it was still kind of static security technologies. And now, if you're looking at kind of that type of platform or technology, you're already way, way behind. And so runtime's the only way to solve for security. And it's not that one moment in time vulnerability or something that matters, right? You need that stitched with your configuration and all the runtime data that Upwind's providing to be able to tell that I need to know now, right now in this moment, what are my security issues that actually matter, not the stuff that happened back when the scanning happened.
True, and we see that as like I think the major contributor for this thing, and I think this is also being led by another like huge vector in cloud security, which is moving away from point solution to a platform. Like, what do you think about that?
I think like it's amazing, right? We're seeing all these acquisitions happen right now. And it was like, there's so much innovation still happening, but there's so many acquisitions happening too. And you're seeing these companies really thinking about building platforms, and we're seeing some large cybersecurity names. I have some skepticism because I feel that like you acquire, and you're stitching on things and they may not give you that platform play. And so natively building kind of these capabilities is what I'm really excited about, and having that seamless really experience for your security operations leaders, but then also for engineering. And we talked about the friction before. A lot of times the friction happens because the security tools aren't working well together. So then your security engineers go and take stuff and it's like, okay, the data was outdated, or there's, it's not relevant. Whereas like how you guys are building things are going to make things better for companies and really solve it in a native platform way.
Correct. I'm always amazed by how you, as a security leader, you care about developer experience and the relationship with engineering, which is our core values that I feel we're sharing. So, Ricky, I cannot thank you enough for this partnership. We've been blessed to be working with customers, and we're like yourself. And the Upwind brand is like only as strong as like what our customer has to say about us.
Right. One time it's enough, I believe. Guys, just to finish from my side, and maybe Dirk, if you want to add something at the end, I decided to join Upwind because these people know what they are doing. They are adding. Last month, our CPO mentioned we had 68 new features to the platform based on customer feedback. We are developing fast, we are focused, and we know where we are going. And yeah, the runtime is present, but especially the future. So thank you for this introduction. It's a pleasure to be in Italy. The weather is not with me today, but it's okay. I have the good weather back home. So yeah, thank you so much for your time. It's a pleasure to present you Upwind. Dirk, do you want to add something? Or?
No, it was clear. I mean, I can keep on talking, but
Qualcosa in italiano, devo
no. Ultimately, it is like, what's the difference? Because I mean, you guys are in technology. I mean, we have a lot of competitors. I mean, we have Palo Alto, we have Sysdig, we have Laceworks, we have Orca. We have Wiz, so to speak. What's the difference? And that's a little bit on slides, in presentations, when you go to the website, it all looks the same, right? What's the real difference? It's the runtime. Nobody can do end-to-end what we can do. Whatever finding we have, it will be accurate, it will be real-time, because of the runtime input. Every other vendor is taking snapshots. And what in between? If they put like a timeline of 2 hours or 3 hours, they take a snapshot here, they take a snapshot there, they compare, and then they say like, oh, here are all the findings, and out of these findings you have like 40-50% false positives. After a while, what's happening? You're fed up and you don't even look at it anymore, right? With us, the accuracy of findings is, I think, close to 85%. So it's only that we see that on average 15% is false positive. It's related to the AI, it's related to the machine learning, but it's also related to the input of the runtime, the real data. Which applications are in use? And which finding did we find that can impact the current application? And if you have a finding, you can really trace it back completely to the developer that developed the code. And which part of the code, in which part of the container, in which part of the Kubernetes environment, in which part of the application is the error. What needs to be changed now to close the gap? That's what we do. Very simple. Yeah?
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you so
guys.